Hello and welcome to the Three Marks on a Mic podcast. I am the host, Rantin Dan, joined by the Smark and training, Matt. Now, unfortunately, the third member is not here with us tonight. He's doing some bad
You can't
things.
get a reply.
Hopefully, be with us soon. Tonight, we'll be discussing how good is Tony Khan's booking, but also how different the booking of professional wrestling has been pre-COVID, and how wrestling in general has coped with the pandemic and what the future holds. So, Matt, looking at the wrestling landscape
Yes.
at this moment in time, how do you grade Tony Khan, AEW, the Independents, WWE, New Japan overall performance?
I don't think that you can put independence in that question. I think they're dead. I think they were dead the second the sneaking out wouldn't happen. Like, what is British wrestling after this? Like every champion's pretty much been stripped of the title. We don't know if they're allowed to book. Where have they gone? Marty Skrull lost everything. Right or wrong, I don't care. Where's it gone? British wrestling is done. And if it comes back, you're going to be relying on other talents coming from the Indies in the States coming over. Or the Indies in the States, because the Indies have been monetized in the AEW. So anybody you want to see is tied up with the AEW. And Tony Khan, if he has any sense, isn't going to let them go and wrestle your hotel.
Well, we've just seen it. Was it last night on Twitter? We've just seen Joey Ryan. He has a women's charity event for International Women's Day. Believe it or not, he is the face of this charity event. And Tony Khan straight away went, "Nope, you will be getting deleted. Nope, I'm bringing all my talent out. You can have Carlito." And that's it.
Number one contender for Stardom's World Championship, isn't it?
Here, just remember, Carlito was the main man in 5-Star Wrestling.
Carlito. I tell you what, he came back and he was hench as hell, wasn't
He was some size, I have to say. He was.
he looked like a tall guy.
He did. Whenever he came out, I was like, there's no way the same guy that came out was having a foul called Jesus stabbing John Cena in the kidney. Or to the liver. Stabbed him in the liver. But he looked good. He did look good. But no, you're right in what you're saying, Matt. You really are right. And the British Independence.
No, probably not.
No, no. I think you're right in the British Independence. I think it's done. It's dusted. Even
if you were an indie wrestler and NXT UK said, "Come work for us for a paycheck," or stay with ICW, Progress, Rev Pro, OTT, what would you do?
Oh, you
By the way, yes, OTT is British wrestling. I know it's a European promotion, but it's
Yes. Let's be honest, it is. But I know what you're saying. Yes, go to NXT UK. You get a flight to London. You get looked after. You go to the BT Sport. They call it a performance centre, but really not a studio.
It's a studio, TV studio.
TV studio, and then you also have. What would you rather do? Would you rather
NW got there.
Would you rather work there, or would you rather work, as we've seen ourselves, at OTT events in front of 300 people who, if the COVID was to come in to that arena that night, it wasn't leaving. It wasn't attaching itself to anybody because there was some other diseases lingering about that arena.
I miss it because you had different standards. You had Mandela Hall, which is now no longer with us, but for me, it's the best venue out of the lot because Mandela Hall has a balcony and the Kings of the North can just go up there and decide to jump off it. But it was so bad, it was so good.
Yes.
And you been to an event in Europa?
Years and years. What was before? What was before OTT? It was up here. Pro Wrestling Ulster. I was in Europa for Pro Wrestling. Is it still going? No, I mean, this is whenever Bonesaw was a singles champion, and Drunken Disorderly was Duncan Disorderly was jumping off ladders against some fella who came out. I touched myself at a
Jesus Christ.
at a PG event.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Europa show, their shows are normally matinees.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're watching somebody in the top rope about to do something that's probably going to end their career in front of a 300 strong audience. And they're looking up and making sure they don't hit the ceiling.
Yes,
My God.
Uh, the only time I've been in Europa now is that time, and it was Duncan Disorderly, and he was at the top of the ladder, and he was touching the ceiling, and I was going, if this fella lands wrong, it's not going to end nicely. There's nothing here that's soft.
Yeah.
It's literally old shagged carpet from the 70s. It's still in the hotel, even though how many times that hotel's been bombed. It's still the same carpet.
And he's standing comfortably on top of the rope, say rope,
Yeah.
wire cord with gaffer tape around it, and hoping for the best. No, I think the Indies, I don't know if it's good or bad. It's bad for anybody like us who love live events, but right now we don't need live events, we need weekly entertainment.
Yeah.
And AEW is providing it to an extent. NXT, I don't watch it really anymore. I just, see before AEW, I was an NXT mark. I was the NXT guy in our group.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's kind of like AEW put that time slot on, and NXT copied it and sanitized the product from anything that made it normal. It was stand out because it was a developmental territory which got heat. Now it's a third brand that is pretty much good for takeovers. And then weekly it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't watched an NXT show since it's went 2 hours. I watched the first 2 hours, I think, whenever it went to USA. It was off the network, but I think it went. It was off the network because we now in the UK, if you have it, the WWE network, you won't get it for a week. You're a week behind. You have to have BT Sport, and the whole benefit of having the network here in the UK was to watch NXT on a Wednesday for even I think it was an hour, and then it went to 2 hours. But see, the minute it went to 2 hours, it was almost like it wanted to. If you were to still cut NXT down to an hour now, it'll be as good a show as what AEW is. But the problem is, they're now it's almost being micromanaged as the way WWE is. It has to have a filler. You have to have so much talent on. It's not what it was. The fun of it is no longer there. The talent, the likes of Sami Zayn, Pac, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke and
Nakamura. You mean?
Oh, sorry, Adrian Neville. You have the likes of them. Bo Dallas. You have Big E whenever he was champion. You have these guys, and they were, because the only time you got to see them was on YouTube, or streaming it to try and find Ring of Honor. Now you were finding them on WWE. You were watching them and you were getting excited. You had the likes of Finn Balor as well, Kenta, other big stars.
What was his name and what was Kenta's name? In WWE.
There you go. That shows you how good of a run he had.
I know it was bad. The name wasn't good, was it?
No.
Never mind.
And then you have the likes of American Alpha, and you had the likes of DIY, and you had the likes of AOP, the tag team divisions. Then the women, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky Lynch. The best era of professional women's wrestling. And that was fun. Everyone enjoyed it. Everybody was like, yes, we'll get behind it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden...
Professional women's wrestling only is killed on the main card.
Yeah. And then once they moved them on the main card, everybody was sort of going, well, we'll have to enjoy it now in NXT, because if you don't, you're not going to enjoy it in the main roster. But even whenever AEW came along, NXT didn't need to go to Wednesday night. Didn't need to actually leave the network, because the fans felt like it was still an indie promotion, because it was being treated like an indie promotion, as the likes of AEW now is being as a main brand program. It has the big fans. It has the correct storylines. It has the big stars. As NXT now is trying to almost copy that formula, and it's not working because it's now got away from the hardcore fans that were at NXT at the very beginning are now going, well, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch another WWE micromanaged programming because you're already watching 5 hours of it during the week. So you have another, so that'll be another 2 hours or 7 hours. That's a shift in work. Watching
Yeah.
WWE programming as now you can go. Well, I can just
And
watch
see,
AEW for 2 hours a week. If you're really in the dark, you can watch dark. But there you go. You've just the 2 hours AEW to watch.
the biggest thing that AEW has over WWE is see the guys that are running AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they run Young Bucks, Mega, Cody. They all have that little badge of honor where they turn around and said, "See your multi-million deals, show me yours.
Yeah.
We want our own creative." And quarterly, they can turn over more merch than they'll ever be allowed to get a percentage of in the WWE. So straight away, you're going, "Oh, anti-establishment." Then you have the other stories. Kenny Omega left developmental WWE, went to Japan because of how horrendous it was. I don't know if that was Belgium Mott's time or not, but you know,
Bill loved the hazing, didn't he? There was no messing about in his classes, allegedly.
I don't think Bill. If you were to do what Bill DeMott was doing in the mid-90s, nobody would have blinked an eye
Probably
because
would
the
have
power
had it.
plant was like that.
The power plant was. If you ever watched is it Luther Rigmo or what do you call him? Louis.
The Hulk,
No, no, not him. No, Luther. No, is it Luther? Throughout, I can't pronounce his name.
Louis Theroux.
Louis
I think
Theroux.
they're talking about Louis Ferrigno.
His documentaries, and you watch the power plant, you see the likes of Sarge, who was there, and like he's booking, and he's being sick, and everyone's laughing at him, going, "Well, is this the best you got? Get back in here," you know. And
He wasn't a real sergeant.
hmm?
He wasn't a real sergeant. He was only a work sergeant.
Oh, he wasn't Sergeant
That
Slaughter. He
was, that
wasn't
wasn't a
GI
shoot.
Joe.
That was a work.
Better watch what you say, or I should have the Americans on asking questions. Where's his medals?
They won't be listening. Come on.
But
But, no, it's. I think that AEW have that. They have a new brand. NXT is a third brand, like it or not. You can. Whenever you see the NXT guy at Dynamite every week, you know the NXT guy.
yeah,
You see him every week at Dynamite.
yeah.
Even he knows, and he believes it's real.
I think what the problem is, I do believe whenever it was the 1 hour shows, you had the likes of Triple H, he had the full control. The minute it goes to USA, I think it's out of his control a little bit. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Vince is putting his hands in, dabbling a wee bit, But then again, we don't know. Don't know.
Look at the big guy. Is it Osmo or I don't know? He's the heater for AJ.
I know.
I don't know. I don't follow the current SmackDown or. I just stay up for Wednesday nights because you know what that means. But he's green.
Yeah.
He should be out of territory. I know territories don't exist, but they do because throw him to an indie promotion. Yeah, I might. Like that guy could be. Do you remember how long Braun Strowman took to get legitimized?
Took him years. It took him. He was at. I think at the trade he was Independence, and then he was NXT, and then he was with the dancer. He had the lollipop in his mouth. Oh, he was actually he was Leo Kruger, and
that's our third member.
He was Leo Kruger in NXT with Adam Rose, and he was a Rosebud.
Oh yes,
Braun Strowman was a Rosebud, and then he was a Wyatt family member, and then I think as what Kevin Nash used to call it, being caught with your. It'd be like having the dream and having a 1-inch penis, and being caught with your treasures down. I think it got caught out a few times in the ring, And
When they get stabbed by Brock and told to slow down, you know it's not going well.
the funny thing is, that was after that. Whenever he wasn't as green,
Yeah. But,
you
see,
know, you see him, and he's on TV. He leaves. He comes back looking even more jacked. Got a proper haircut. Feud with Roman Reigns, and then he just got a little too excited with a former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, and just goes, "I'll just, I'll just hit you. I'll just hit you with a real knee here, Brock, just to show you I'm a big boy."
did you see? But I think Arn said this. Like, if you look like that and you're green and can't make a show on for yourself, you get heat. But if you look like if you're 5'8", you know, not a body guy, you can go through a match and just be not noticed. But whenever you are massive and are already meant to be an attraction, you don't get the chance to be seen again. Um, it's like Giant Gonzalez, my God, what an
Great Khali.
attraction. But whenever the bell rings, my God, it's just like, please stop.
Stop the
And
pain.
okay. And do you know what, looking back on it, Big Show was one of the best big men ever. And he got please retire chance. And
I
that's
know,
sad when you look back on it.
but
Oh, Big Show was amazing.
but then again, I do think the likes of, and I'm going to say it outright because I've been busting to say this, the likes of Dave fucking Meltzer or Dave
Oh
Meltzer.
dear.
I have no time for that
Hmm.
man. I have no time for that man whatsoever.
Do you not? Not like
No.
him. Just
I,
because he annoys you.
no, see, to be honest, I was a big fancy back when I was like 12 or 13 on
Oh,
the deep depths of the internet. It's not like it was now. This is back whenever chat rooms were a thing. I was deep in the Dave Meltzer. I would have said I hated John Cena. I hated everything to do with all wrestling. I was watching Ring of Honor at the time. I was watching Dan O'Brien
for fuck's sake.
and Nigel McGuinness. I was watching this, and I thought I was it, because I knew who Kevin Steen was. And then I grew up and just thought, no, this guy, he's a poison. Because what annoyed me about him was that Tony Khan booking. If you look at awards, all the awards is all AW
Yes.
stars. The booking,
Right.
the best booker's Tony Khan, right? Fair enough, he probably is this year. But the problem with it is he's bringing him on to, and all his talent, to represent these awards. To actually, instead of receiving them, they're actually talking about them. And there's nobody else. And he's just very, how can you say it? He picks and chooses. You
Yeah.
know, he
But here's what I see. Dave Meltzer, this whole thing's a shoot to him. And
oh
all
no,
them guys out presenting the awards, it's a work.
yeah, yeah.
So
I,
it's
I,
still real to him, God damn
yes, it's still real to
it.
him, but I just don't. I think it's getting dangerous in a way that
Oh yeah.
the actual wrestlers who are in the ring are actually talking and are praising Dave Meltzer. He's never been in the ring, never booked a territory, never done anything. He's had an opinion online, which everybody has. That's his opinion. But
No.
at the same
Here's
time,
one thing. See all these guys that present these awards,
mhm,
you know, AEW tell them how many of AEW's creative programs have a link to them? Not many.
no, no,
So is he being like he's kind of the hero worshiping them for bringing back the good old days,
yeah,
while at the same time they're like, you know,
screw
Mark,
you, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, he has a mark, but I think what the problem is now, you're going to get talent, young like guys like in 15, 16 now, who believe everything Dave Meltzer says and is going to say his opinion is now fact, and that could end up could be worse for could be worse for promotions, could be worse for the talent. Because all they're going to think in their head is, oh my god, I must do finisher, kick out, finisher, no sell, finisher, no sell, finisher, 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 kick out of two. you know, there's as we've been talking about. We've been listening to a lot of JCP at the minute.
oh yeah,
Jim Cracker Promotions, and there's a lot of correlations between him, their style of booking and AEW style of booking, was an actual story being told, and even in the matches, actual stories being
Yes.
told. So I
Like
think,
match of the year.
yeah, I'm
Match of the year so far is Double Boy and Dax.
100%, and I wouldn't disagree with you because there's an actual story, and I think for me that's what I feel is a difference between the likes of all the independents, Impact, Ring of Honor, and even WWE to a degree. Well, WWE at the moment is actually starting to go on the other way of where it's actually story based. I think they've maybe seen AEW and realised we'll have to do story based the way through the matches and actually bring the
Yeah.
story in.
And they're doing well.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm an AEW mark. I love AEW and prefer their product. But let's be under no illusion. They're second to WWE.
Yeah.
And maybe third.
Yeah.
Because New Japan
Yeah.
still holds the candle for a legitimate established promotion.
Exactly.
Ring of Honor and stuff, to be honest, I've never been in Ring of Honor. But the thing about the willingness to share, like the platform AEW has for new promotions is very, very strong. And then you have Impact involved, LOL Impact.
Yes.
It's not LOL Impact anymore. It's like, oh, Impact.
Yeah.
You know, it's changed it.
Yeah. And that
Plus
was actually.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, what I was going to say, this is my next point. I was going to say, how's your feelings on the Forbidden Door being opened? Was it always
I don't think it
forbidden?
should have been closed. It should have been closed.
Do you think it's sour grapes?
What do you mean for AEW?
My personal feeling is on the Forbidden Door, why it actually came around to a Forbidden Door was that All In pay-per-view used all the independent talents, used New Japan to actually, it was their pedestal to boost AEW as the promotion, and I think it was a lot of sour grapes from everybody else because they're going, why are you using our talent to promote your new promotion? They probably got scared, and rightly so.
Why did they allow their talent to promote the new promotion? You know, you can only be you can say, oh, they're used to our talent, and I would have to go dark. Or they sign some of our top guys. Well, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
How good was your booking?
Yeah.
How many eyes did you have on your product? How many pay-per-view guys? Or can you go, let's work with these guys because they have a platform, they have the money, they have the promotion. You watch AEW and you're like, oh my god, look at the money it's in. Even they're open. That's changed from. That's one thing. AEW are treating it like seasons of TV with 52 episodes per season. Last year, the opening colours were different, and I'm colourblind. I can see they're different. But
that's how you noticed. That's probably how you noticed.
And don't get me wrong, I think it's the worst ever move. Cody changing his theme music, but I also am not a big Cody fan because I need him to be here. I need that heat. But really, like Cody's got Snoop Dogg, whose cousin wrestles for WWE as one of the top ladies, but yet TNT have Snoop Dogg and Cody on their payroll doing a reality show. Straight away gives their endorsement. Snoop Dogg lends credibility. Come for a splash, but lends credibility. Shaquille O'Neal's on tonight. Like, I don't care if Shaquille O'Neal has the worst match in professional wrestling history.
But you're going to watch it because
ESPN's
his name.
going to cover that. Think about the people going to watch that.
Oh yes, see.
And also, Jade Cargill is going to have a rug up her ass because of this.
Yeah. What people don't seem to understand is, and this is what really confuses me, it's the same as WWE with Bad Bunny. Yes, Bad Bunny, he's not a professional wrestler, yes, but allegedly, Bad Bunny's merchandise is coming off the shelves of WWE of the WWE online shop. Look at AEW.
Yeah.
TNT has a pre-game show on the NBA. Always has a Shaq and can't remember their names, but they're legendary basketball players. And ever since he's been announced for this match, that's all Shaq's talked about. He keeps bringing it up. He keeps bringing it
Yeah.
up. There's millions watching basketball. There's maybe not as many millions watching wrestling at the minute. So whenever people hear Shaq, he's going to be wrestling, people are going to go, actually, we'll stick it on for a laugh, see what the big man's doing now. You know,
Yeah. I see anything less than a million viewers tonight is a failure,
yeah,
in my
yeah,
opinion.
yep,
It needs to be a million eyes in that. Plus, hearing that NXT is rumoured to be moving to Tuesday nights, again, I know why that's being done, in my opinion. Let's give Monday night 3 hours of wrestling, 2 hours on Tuesday night. Oh, I can't be bothered on Wednesday night.
yeah, yeah. I think
But
that's true. But the only thing the other thing I read, and I don't know how right it is or wrong, you know, we don't know until it actually gets officially announced. They're talking Thursday nights, NXT.
oh dear.
You know, if you think about it, maybe what WWE's thinking, as you said, 3 hours and then the 2 hours and we on Wednesday. Well, it's going to be, the problem now they're going to have is 3 hours on the Monday, nothing on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, AW Wednesday, Thursday, NXT, Friday, SmackDown. And not only that, Tuesday night's got NWA is now got a TV deal for Tuesday night. Impact's on
What?
Tuesday night. Yes, Power. That's why they took all their stuff down. I thought they were
Thank
going out of
God, I thought
business.
they were gone. Yeah.
No, they've got a TV deal. I think it's maybe with Fate. I could be wrong. But apparently,
I
allegedly,
was
they've
really
got a TV
worried
deal.
for not getting next.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
awesome. What else? What was. They're still not doing that with Crockett, are they?
What is it, sorry?
They're not doing that. It's not Crockett. Are they doing that with, we call them Midnight Express? Head's gone.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I know
And
who
now
you're
you can't
talking.
think of it.
I can't think of it. This is a great show, folks. This is the first
One of
10
the
minutes.
best promos ever.
The first 10
Jim
minutes we couldn't even get the sound on.
Cornette.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah. He's still blacklisted for what he said, isn't he?
I think he's blacklisted everywhere.
Which
To be
he
perfectly
wanted
honest
to
with you.
be.
Do you ever listen to his
Yeah.
podcast? Please tell me you listen to his podcast, or even give it a.
I don't. He's too harsh on my favourites.
See, to be honest, I know some of the stuff he's saying is right, some of it's wrong, but see the way he calls Kenny Omega, Kenny Olivia, and he calls Nick Jackson the Hulk Hogan of the tag teams. And he goes, and then he says sideburns, the buck with the long sideburns, and the other one thinks he's Hulk Hogan. Just bringing all these tag teams in to bury him, and I do laugh at it. He is quite comical. He is very comical, but
Fair play to him.
yeah, he has an audience. It's the same as Finch Russo. I listen to Finch Russo's podcast, Castrating the Marks.
Same as Dave Meltzer. Meltzer has an audience.
Him and
He has it.
Alvarez. Him and Alvarez have one. It's not great.
Do you go on for his ratings? True or false?
Dave Meltzer's.
You do. The second you see a match that you know was a screamer, you go straight on as soon as you can. What is his rating?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do because
Yeah.
it's an opinion, and I think the problem with Dave Meltzer is people are starting to spin it that his is fact as how good. Like, let's be honest, how good it would be if he was to say his opinion. Everybody else has an opinion, and Dave Meltzer comes out at the end and goes, "Well, you know what, guys? See, instead of this match being 4 3/4 of a star, going around at the 5. I've listened to the fans. I think he's right. You know, because
Yeah,
I don't understand that quarter and 3/4 of a star. No, whenever it's in the 4, I understand 1, 2, and 3, but whenever it's like a 4 and a 3/4 match, like what else do you need? It's the same as what was the Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 was not 5 stars. It was 4 3/4. What else do you want them to do? Having a Tokyo Dome? Yes, had to put that in there.
Shawn Michaels Undertaker 1 was, for me personally, my favourite ever wrestling match. Just was. and I'm not a big Tiger fan, as we know. And it's because I don't like post wrestling Tiger. Tiger as a wrestler, brilliant. But Tiger as an individual,
No, not a fan.
eh, no.
Actually,
I don't mean to say that in a really harsh way, but how can you stay in a locker room soft because they're not doing things that's going to give them premature death? Yeah, the road was different. Yeah, the locker room was different. But how many of them guys are still here?
exactly. You know, what he said, they all sit and smoke and drink and they're stabbing. They had knives and guns. Now
Good for
that's
them.
now yes. Well, I understand to a degree what he means. I think what he means is that they're not. I think it's because a lot of the talent now is guaranteed money, and they're not putting themselves out there and maybe doing that a little bit more. I could be wrong.
Well,
He could, you know, going off script a wee bit, maybe doing something a wee bit different. You know, that's what I'm assuming as. If not, and he's saying he had to be like, or what was he saying? He said if people playing video games. Well, that's the generation now. You know, how else are people going to relax? You don't come back now and drink a bottle of tequila, sniff a load of drugs, and try and shoot somebody outside. We're not ECW
how much does
in
up,
Philly.
up, down, down make?
For,
Yeah, I mean,
fortune.
how much do they make about? Yeah. So, see, go out and hunt some bloody deer, Mark, or go and kill an endangered animal with Brock in your ranch. But see these guys playing video games, they're playing it while making money, and you're saying that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, it's got soft. It's got soft, but do you think, Bruiser Brody, what happened to him was good? Because of the road, we were hard guys back in the day, we were hard men.
It's the same as me,
Yeah,
Jack.
let's be hard men, take coke and see if we can kill people.
Oh,
Class. Or we can go into work and have a good time, enjoy each other's company,
yep.
do your match, go home, do it again tomorrow, and maybe have a life after wrestling. Even look at Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's now doing a podcast. Kurt Angle let go for an addiction to painkillers.
And he's in pain.
Turn his life around. Yeah.
He's,
The guys must be in agony.
yeah, what he said he's sitting there and he has to get this major surgery, but he doesn't want to do it because he's going to be bedridden for 6 months. Like, come on, that's what way is that to live?
Yeah.
And
But Kurt's sort of at the turning point in that generation.
yeah, yeah.
It's
But here,
sorry, I went off a tangent there.
but here is the main question. This is the biggie. Where do you see, once all the lockdowns are done around the world, what do you see happening in professional wrestling? Do you see the likes of WWE staying storyline based? Do you see AEW staying storyline based, or will they get a bit too comfortable because if they're going to be the only show on a Wednesday, they can refer back to their indie style? Also, do you think there'll ever be live events again? Or do you think it will just be the TV shows and pay-per-views? Because as we see here in the pandemic era, it's going to be now going to be called an era. But every 5 years has to be called something. That companies are making a profit without fans.
I think live shows for WWE are a thing of the past, apart from shows where they've got this credit legacy of Dusty Rhodes and keep trademarks going, like StarCast. That was a live show, which is a joke, but they kept the trademark.
Oh, Starcade.
Then you'll see, Starcade. Sorry, Conrad. Starcade. They did it as a house show.
Yeah.
And that was one just to stick the door in. And I even think the Dusty Cup is just a dig. I don't think it's any more than a dig.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Dusty did a lot for NXT, but my God, they're keeping two sons away from the name of their dad, pretty much. That's brutal. AEW, I don't know if they'll do a turn schedule unless there's a camera there. I think they will turn. I think they'll go around the world, but it will be televised. They don't need to. They don't need to. But I do think they are going to change the game for wrestling. I don't think that space and stuff's going to be much of an issue because I can see them having a wrestling ring on a beach. I can see them utilising Jericho's cruise. They've done it before, but I can see venues, the idea of a venue changing for AW, and they're going to change it, and the rest are going to copy, and then get heat for copying, because they're not scared to take a risk or break the mold, because they don't have shareholders to worry about.
I think
Vince changes the recipe. Vince changes the recipe, loses minds.
It's on his and the stockholders' heads. I do completely agree with you 100% what you're saying there. I can't see there being live events back. WWE, because what is it? They've made a profit there of so many hundreds of millions, and that's only, and that's having that's them is renting out an arena with a Thunderdome. You know, look at AEW's making a profit, and they're using their own building. You know, the Cam's own Daly's place.
And then they're saying, see your pay raise, forget it.
They're going out saying, here, see at Twitch and everything else you like to do? I think that's going to be ours, guys. We'll give you 1%. The same as what your merch is. You'll get maybe 1.2% of the profits made. That's it for nice. Because our shareholders have to get paid first.
Well, she brings it back round full circle. Well, there's nobody in WWE willing to be a legitimate heel.
Yeah, because you're not going to get any money off the merchandise.
You know, you have to. There's no DiBiase's anymore. MJF as a legit heel.
Sure, we see them at OTT. We see him. Yeah. Sure, he never broke character once. We were standing in the queue and he was calling every other person going past, "Oh, fat boy, you know, don't be getting too close to me. You smell. You know, what about your ugly woman? You know." And that was after the show. I was never. You had guys like Will Ospreay, who a certain somebody in this podcasting group says he was a bad guy, and you turn around there, he was lifting kids up, letting them touch his belt. Mm-hmm. You know, and he's sitting, and there's other guys. There's Big Walter, Big Daddy Walter. He was standing. You know, he's meant to be this menace and heel and everything else. He's the nicest guy on the planet. I stand talking to him for about 10 minutes. Absolute gentleman.
Also, a man in this group saying that Will Ospreay is a bad guy. By the way, this man isn't here. This man's hard to get a message from. That's Will Ospreay's this bad guy. Besties in the world took a bump on the outside. One of them wrecked his knee, finished the match. Will Ospreay took him out and gave him about a 5-minute promo how good this guy was for putting his life on the line for this sport, coming across the world. This bad guy. Putting Scotty Davis over. This bad guy taking a young guy from Southern Ireland and putting him over as if he's the next big thing. What a bad guy.
This is the other guy in the group who, whenever the Kings of the North came over and said about merch, in Mandela Hall we were standing, and he comes over and says, "You want a t-shirt?" And this other guy says yes, and then he asks him for £10, and this other guy starts laughing at him and says, "No, you're all right." He'll turns on wrestlers who are trying to make an earning because he didn't get a free t-shirt.
Of all people to do it too as well. Just Corbin, you know.
Yep, just the best one out of the group.
Yep, just the one that you know will actually kill you.
Oh, brilliant.
Sure.
We'll have to say, Matt, gonna have to wrap it up. Gonna have to wrap it up here. Gonna have to wrap it. It's coming down on the wee thing here that there's only so long left. But
we're going around mine.
It was good chatting with you.
Yes.
Very good.
But to wrap it up, Tony Khan is changing the business, but being held back by indies, and I mean that by his competitors. This booking's great. Everybody's trying to get their spots in for merch money. That's my final say on that one. We'll deep dive on that someday.
My final say on all this is let's just hope that 2021, 2022 we could be in Southern Ireland. Yes, Southern Ireland for people here listening to this. We will be sitting with a ice cold Guinness. Us three sitting going to an OTT show, and hopefully John Moxley coming over. Because we did pay the money to go and see him in St. Paddy's last year, but obviously we couldn't go because of the pandemic. So hopefully this time some AEW stars come over, and we can have a good drink, and hopefully we're going to enjoy something that we'll love watching.
Wrestling.
Some wrestling.
Okay, well, wrap up.
So wrap it up. Thanks very much, Matt. Thank you. Absolute pleasure.
Take it easy.
Yep. First one in the books, guys. Just want to say a thanks anyone listening. Catch us on all the major platforms. You can catch us on social media. You can catch us on, well, yes.
All major platforms.
Yes. Well, yes. Little fourth wall breaker here. Could be a couple of days. You could be listening a couple of days later because have to do some editing and everything else. But hopefully, all major platforms. Hopefully on all social media, and hopefully on YouTube as well. Not the video version, just the audio at the minute. Video could be Patreon. We could be deep.
All right.
We could be jumping straight into the deep end here. But no, thanks very much, Matt. Pleasure.
All right, see you again.
Yes, mate. See you later. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy.